Hola chicos, en este video vamos a aprender más formas del pretérito. Vamos a ver los verbos tres vocales y también los verbos cargar-zar. Toda la información está en el libro Avancemos, página 226-227. El pretérito. La meta. La meta de este video. Our goal for this video is to learn our irregular 3 vowels in a row verbs, such as leer and construir. We will also focus in on some of the gar-zar verbs that have a change in the yo form in the preterite tense. We will use these in order to communicate what you and others did in the past. To connect this with English, we know that some verbs are spelled differently in the past tense in order to maintain their pronunciation. In English, verbs that end in the letter C, for example, have a K added before the ed ending in order to maintain that hard C sound. For example, I panic becomes I panicked with a K. Here we're going to go over in the nota gramatical from página 226 what I call 3 vowel in a row verbs. Here I have the verbs such as leer, to read, and construir, to build, which have a slight spelling change from I to a Y, specifically in the el, ea, usted, and the eos, eas, ustedes forms of the preterite. Notice that in the verb leer, to read, all of the I's carry an accent mark. Entonces tengo leí, leíste, leyó. This is our first form where we have our spell change I to Y. In Spanish, I can't have 3 vowels in a row. So L-I-O, I can't have le-i-o. It kind of sounds not smooth. We know Spanish, we want everything to be suavecito. Entonces, I'm going to change my I to a Y, and my sound now changes from le-i-o to leyó, más suave. Up to the nosotros form, remember I need to have those accents on the forms of the I in this verb. So leímos, leístais, and back to our ellos, eas, ustedes form where we have the spell change, it becomes leyeron. Remember, I can't have leyeron. Got to smooth it out, change the I to a Y. Construir is another verb that functions this way. Construir is the verb to build. So the yo form I have construí, construiste would be my to form. We know the el, ea, usted form is the form that changes, so I can't have construyó, I have to say construyó. Smooth it out, change the I to a Y. Construimos, construistais, y finalmente construyeron. So this only happens in the bottom 2 forms, the third person singular, the third person plural. We also have some irregularities in preterite in the verbs that end in car, gar, and zar. These verbs will have just a slight irregularity in specifically the yo form in order to maintain their pronunciation. So verbs that end in car, such as buscar, to look for, my C is going to change to a QU. So in the yo form, I would have yo busqué. So I'm going to use my same AR endings that I'm used to. I just simply have a small spell change, C to QU. Yo busqué. Pagar, verbs that end in gar, such as pagar, to pay, my G is going to change to a GU just to maintain that sound. Entonces, tengo yo pagué la cuenta. I paid the bill. Finalmente, empezar, the verb to begin, my Z is going to change to a softer C sound. So instead of empezar, my Z changes to C. The yo form would be empecé. Let's look at this from the perspective of the to form, where we have our regular AR endings, to the yo form where we have this slight spell change. In the to form, I would say, ¿buscaste las ruinas? Sí, busqué las ruinas, would be my change that happens in the yo form only. In the to form, I would conjugate as regular with a gar verb, such as pagar. ¿Pagaste la cuenta? No, no pagué la cuenta. And finally, empezar, once again, will be a regular AR verb in all of the other forms other than the yo form. So if I'm asking the question, ¿Cuándo empezaste la excavación? Empecé la excavación ayer. Unos verbos adicionales. We have some additional car-gar-zar verbs on this slide. So some other verbs that are going to function similarly to the ones that we looked at are the verbs sacar and tocar as examples of car verbs. So sacar would be like to take pictures, tocar would be to play an instrument. Gar verbs such as llegar or jugar, llegar to arrive and jugar to play. Y finalmente tenemos algunos verbos zar. Almorzar, we know is the verb to eat lunch. Y finalmente, comenzar, the verb to begin. Muchas gracias por su atención. Por favor, haga la práctica después. Thanks for watching, and my students, please make sure you do your practice activity as a review of this video for your tarea. Muchas gracias y adiós.